Okay, everyone, welcome to Coding is for You. I've got a good one for you tonight. I'm going to be showing you how to do web scraping. This is a program that you can write that will go out to any website, and it can fill out forms, it can click buttons, it can read text. This is very good if you need to go out to a website and grab a bunch of data and bring it back. I happen to have used this once. I had a business and I wanted to promote the business. So I found this website that had hundreds of email addresses. And so I wrote my own web crawler that went out and read all these web email addresses, and then I emailed them ads for my website, my program. It didn't end up working, but that's beside the point. I'm going to show you web scraping. It's really easy. We're going to be using Visual Studio tonight because it allows you to download the tools very easily. I'm going to show you step by step. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is I'm going to put everything in the captions below. The first thing you're going to do is go to this website because this has everything you need. This website right here is what got me started. At my work, they told me, here's the tool that you're using and here's what we want to do. And that's all they had to tell me. I just went off and did it on my own. That's how you're going to have to be as a professional programmer. You're going to have to go out and find examples and find step by step and just be able to do it on your own. Okay? So that being said, I am going to show you how to do it. So we're using a tool called Selenium. And I had never even heard of this until recently, but it's a new free tool that helps you web scrape. And what we're going to do is we're going to install all these tools and stuff, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to just copy and paste this code, and we're going to run it, and it's going to run off a test website, and it's going to test, and you can run this test website and fill out the form and stuff and click buttons and get you up and running. After that, I'm going to show you a real-world example of how you can write your own web scraper in a real-world example. There's this website that has, every 3 months, they give away a prize. And every day I go there, and if you sign up, you get a chance to win this $4,000 radio, okay? So every day I type it in every day, type it in and type it in. All right, I get sick of doing that. I'm going to write an automated thing like this, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to set it and let it run, and that way I don't even have to do anything. Every day it will run, it will be scheduled, it will run, it will fill out the form for me, and I don't even have to do it. That's what's so cool about this. You can automate things. That being said, let's get started. Okay, you are going to need Visual Studio. I'm not going to go into how to install that or anything, but there are free versions of. There's a community version out there. I'm not going to get into that. You need to go somewhere else for that. But we're going to use Visual Studio, and you're going to open it up, and we're going to do the most simple type of application called a console application. File, New, Project, C# console application. Okay, and name it whatever you want. Put it wherever you want. Doesn't matter. Just remember, in case you want to use it again. So I have this text really big. Here's your basic console application. Okay, I'm going to get rid of namespaces. We don't need that. All right, the first thing you're going to need to do, Control-K, Control-D, is install all of these packages. And notice you've got your references here. See all these? See all these references? You're going to need to have all of these installed. Selenium, ThoughtWorks, all this stuff, okay? So how you do that is you don't have them right here, see? You do not have those when you first run it because it doesn't know you need them. You have to install them, okay? So we're going to go to Tools, NuGet Package Manager, Manage Packages, and here's where it might get a little dicey because you need several things. I'm going to go ahead and type in Selenium. You go to Browse, and then Selenium, Selenium. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here, and this is where it gets a little tricky, but you're going to have to kind of figure things out. So notice on that website, hang on a second, you're going to need the selenium.webdriver backend Selenium, and then ThoughtWorks core WebDriver. Okay, so first of all, I see WebDriver. I'm going to pick that, and I saw support on there. I'm going to go ahead and install that. So you click on it, and then you pick your project here, and you hit install. This NuGet stuff is nice now because you don't have to go out and do it yourself. It will just install it into your project, okay? So now it's installing, it's doing something, and I'm looking for it over here. There it is. I think it's WebDriver right there. See it? Highlighted. WebDriver. So we want WebDriver.support, and I see that right here. So I'm going to click, make sure you've got this selected. I'm going to click install. Once these are installed, you can start using these packages. Okay, let's see. Let's go over here, WebDriver, WebDriver support. Okay, what else does it have? It's got a big check mark by it. So let's do WebDriver / Selenium. I think it's that top one right there, Selenium Chrome WebDriver. Install. And we need ThoughtWorks Selenium.core. I'm going to do the Chrome driver also. Chrome driver is, it will kind of emulate like you're on a Chrome browser. Okay, let's go ahead and install that. We may not need all of these, but let's just do it anyway, just to make sure. We could always remove them later and kind of see if we really did need them. Okay. Now the Selenium.core, I'm wondering about that. There's Firefox. If you wanted to use Firefox as a type of browser, let's see. Let me close this down. WebDriver backed Selenium. Is that what it said? It said WebDriver backed Selenium. There it is right there. So let's get that one also. I've got WebDriver support, Chrome WebDriver, Chrome driver, WebDriver backed Selenium. Okay, so I think we've got it. I'm not sure yet, but let's go ahead and give it a try and see if it works. Now, we're literally going to steal their code. Notice at the top that you're going to have these usings. Let's drop them in here. First of all, I'm going to go right-click, organize usings, remove unnecessary usings, and that will clean up your code for usings that you're not using. You can always add them back later. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now forget all this stuff for now. We'll talk about it later. I'm going to copy their program. See, they're even using main, so we're good. I'm going to copy their program. I think that's right. I have to make sure my curly braces line up. You know, you don't want an extra one. So I'm going to replace my main, my program, actually, program and main. I'm going to replace it all. Delete. Paste. Now, let me make this smaller so we can see it. All right, so this image format thing is not, I'm going to hit Alt-Shift-F10. Something is wrong with this. I think you need system.draw or something, using system.drawing. And image format, I don't know what that is. Alt-Shift-F10. Things like this are going to happen to you. There, File, Alt-Shift-F10. You're going to need using system.io. You're going to need that. And what this is doing is it's getting a screenshot and it's saving. You don't actually need this, but I want to try to get it. Okay, so you'll need using system.drawing.imaging. Okay, so what this is, let's go through this really quick. Now I'm going to collapse this. So first of all, what this is doing, it's setting up Chrome driver. So that's your browser. It's like Chrome, your browser, okay? And what we're going to do is it's going to go to a URL, a test page. Okay, let's take a look at that right now. Control C. I'm going to open up Chrome. I'm going to paste that right here, and let's take a look at it. This is a web scraper testing ground. It's a website somebody gave to us to tell us and to give us things that we can do. So what you're going to do is you're going to enter admin 12345 and hit login. Let's try it just manually. Admin 12345 and log in. We're going to do this in the code. Okay, it says welcome. Great. That's what it's supposed to do. Now I'm going to close that and do it programmatically. So it's going to go to that URL right here. It's going to find this text box. And it's going to find this text box, and it's going to click the login button, okay? Find element user, that's the name of the text box. Deep in the code, that's the name of it. That's how you're going to find things. Now, the password field, PWD, is the name of the password field. And here's the input of the HTML, and it's hit login, and guess what it's going to do? It's going to put admin, it's going to send keys, it's going to send 12345, and it's going to click the button for you programmatically. How cool is that? Now, once it does that, okay, so I think we can just do this. We're still going to save that image somewhere, and I'm not going to specify the type. Okay, so where are we? We're going to put admin 12345. We're going to click the button. Then we're going to get a result. And the result is it's going to write that to a file.write all text. It's going to write that to a text file, and the result will be what we got before. It says welcome or something like that, whatever. So let's run this, put a breakpoint, and watch it run. In just seconds, we got this set up on a sample. So when you run this, it creates this little black window. Hang on. It's going to my other screen. It makes this little black window, and it actually opens it up in the browser too. Okay, we are at the point now to where we are going to, we've got these two fields down here, see them? And we're about to set this to admin and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now watch what happens when I run it to the next line. It's set admin and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for us, okay? Now we're about to click the button. I'm going to run it again. And now we have our welcome message right down here on our web browser. Guess what is in the result? Welcome. See that right there? Welcome. We not only pushed something to this website, we also got something back. So we were able to read and write. We're pushing, we're posting, and we're getting. Okay, now it's going to write that into a file and write it to a screenshot, and we've just successfully done that, okay? And now we are going to go out and do a real world scenario, which I don't even have it set up yet. So you're going to kind of struggle with me to figure out how to do it. And this is where you're really going to learn and learn how to learn. All right, so there's this contest that I told you about that I enter every single day, but I get tired of doing it every day. And there's a small problem. If you put your call sign, your email address, and your phone number in this website, you will get an entry into the contest. And it's 3 months contest, so you can do it once a day. Every time you do an entry, it asks you a question, and it's A, B, C, and D. So if you get the question right, you'll get 2 entries. The problem is I won't be able to be there to answer the question, will I? So I'm going to have to guess. I figured I might as well guess. If there's A, B, C, and D, might as well guess C, right? Why not? Who cares? I don't even care. I just like to enter the contest to win a $4,000 radio in 3 months, and I have a chance. I've tried this before and never won it anyway, so what have I got to lose? So here's my sample. I've got my URL right here, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that to, I'm going to go ahead and use what they've got. Now, once I run it, also, I'm not going to save anything. I don't need to save any of this stuff. I'm just going to click the button, okay? So now we've loaded up the page. This is a very simple example because it's very simple. There's only 3 text boxes here. So how do you access a text box? Well, in Chrome, you have these developer tools, and you right-click on the event. You can right-click anywhere on an image or on a text box or anything or a button. You right-click and you go down to Inspect, and it will give you the name right here. And you're going to need the name of that text box in the HTML and the code behind to know how to access it. So I'm going to right-click on here again. All right. So let's go back. So now you're going to need to know the names of the text boxes or whatever items that you're using. So I'm going to right-click and go to Inspect. And in Chrome, it gives you a lot of developer tools. So what is the name of this text box right here? It has the input tag here and the closing tag here somewhere. The name is call sign. See? Call sign. So we know the name of the control. It has to be exact. Find element by, what's this? Find element by what? Not ID, but dot. This is the cool thing about .NET is find element by name. It has IntelliSense. And guess what? It's not user this time, it's call sign. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the other 2 because those are for the other website. This is a different website. All right. Now, username field, I'm going to call it call sign field. Call sign is a ham radio call sign they give you when you have an FCC license. Just so you know, if you're interested, my other channel is anything with wheels. It's a ham radio channel if you want to know that. All right. Just to test and make sure this is working, before we go on, I'm going to get rid of the comments. Don't need that. Let's go ahead and just run it and make sure we're getting somewhere. Okay, we don't have a login button, so I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to put a breakpoint right here, and I'm going to run it and make sure that there's no errors. Here's the web. It opened the web browser for me. It's going to the website. And now it's gotten to the point where it's about to fill out the symbol. I'm going to hit, I can't hit F10 because I'm using screen recording software right now, and it will stop. Look at that. It put admin in there. Now I don't want admin. I want my call sign, which is, I've entered the contest already today. It won't work because it won't let you do it twice. So I'm going to get a different call sign, N3YO. All right. Now, the next one is, we've got the first one. Let's go ahead and copy that. And let's find out what the next field is called. Next field is probably email address, right? Right-click on the control, go to inspect, look at the HTML. Oops. Dang it. If it ever screws up on you again, just do it again. Right-click, inspect. Look at that. Its name is also email. It's probably unique because there's a very, very simple form. So I know it's email. It could have been anything, but it was email. Okay, so I'm going to do email field. Guess what it's called? Email. What I'm going to put in there? Well, let's put monkey at the zoo. We'll pretend like that's my actual email address. It is not. All right, let's close it all down again. First of all, we need the button. We need to click the button. So we know that's going to work. Let's go back to that website. We need the name of this button because we've got to click it. Okay, inspect. I right-clicked on the button, inspect. All right, value. It's got a value, and we can use that to find it. I don't remember exactly how to do that, though. So let me research that really quick. Hang on. Okay, so if you need help, you're going to have to search for it. So type in Selenium, select submit button. You're going to need to do things like this and use all your keywords to find it. So here's some examples. So let's click on that. Input, text field, submit button. Somewhere down here there will be a button. All right, here's an example. Find the button, login.click. By ID, it doesn't have an ID though, does it? Look, it has a class, it has a type, it has a value and a name, but not an ID. That's a problem. So it has a name, right? We can use that. Name equals submit. Okay, well, we can use name because I had trouble earlier. I didn't think we could do that. So let's use the name again. Let's call it, all right, button, submit, hang on. Button, and it was submit, I think. Yep. And then we're not going to send keys because it's not a text box. We're going to click it. And if you ever get an error, it will just tell you and you just got to work through it. Okay, see that? Now we're setting the first text box, the second text box, and we're hitting the submit button. Now after you do that, it will change to another screen and we'll handle that then after we test it. Just do a little bit at a time. All right, let's run it up into the click and see if it works. It's running. All right, so we've gotten up here to the click. Let's see if it works. I'm gonna hit, put another breakpoint, hit continue. Okay, for you clever people out there that caught this, I had the call sign field twice, and I forgot that I'm supposed to send keys on the other field. So now let's run this. And get it to the point right before it clicks. Now I'm going to hit submit. There's the browser. If I didn't put my phone number in though, I forgot that. Sorry about that. All right. So now I'm going to copy this one more time. I imagine it's called phone number, but let's make sure. Right click, inspect. What is the name? Phone. Just phone. I'll go ahead and just copy that. All right, so I'll call this phone. This is a variable. Then this is phone, and then phone, and then 555, 555, 5555. Okay, now we should be all ready to run the entire thing and submit the first page. All right, here we go. Run. Now this automatically doing all this for me. Isn't that cool? Do you see that? Everything looks good. Monkey at the zoo. Now it's supposed to click that button for me. Does it do it? F10. I have to hit this. Oh, I think it worked. Oh, that's weird. Your search did not match any products. So they might be doing some kind of validation on here, which... so in that case, what I'm going to do is try a different call sign like KQ3L ABC at intel.com 555-444-38888. Now let's see what happens. So we have to test this website. Okay, there it is. There's the question. I'm wondering why it didn't work last time. All right, so I'm going to try something. Monkey at the zoo.com. That's good. I'm going to do... They might be doing some kind of validation. You just kind of got to figure it out. So KQ2F, and that will be just a random call sign because I'm just testing right now. Now let's run it. And here it is. It's coming up. All right, now we're going to run and click the button. If all goes well... What? That's weird. I don't think I have the right button. I'm hitting the wrong button. It's hitting this button. Isn't that interesting? So you have to make sure the name is unique, okay? So let's go back to our button. There could be multiple buttons on a page, and I'm hitting the wrong one because it's looking for products. Now we have to do a little bit of debugging, and that's where things get tricky. And this is where you're just going to have to think about things. Go back to our website. There's probably multiple buttons on here. Like that's probably the one we're hitting, this searching. See, it's called submit. So there's multiple buttons on here with the same name. That's a problem. Okay, so we have what I think is a good example. So we're going to go back to the code and we're going to use what they call find element by XPath. And we're going to do find element by XPath and title value, hang on, dot find element by XPath. For some reason in all the examples it has a lowercase f, but you need an uppercase. So we're going to put value, we're going to use this first part here and put it in here. But the value was, what was it? Enter now or something? Enter now. Let's just copy it. You go to inspect. See, the value is enter now. Come on. Copy. And I'm going to put that in the value here. Not all this extra junk. Just the exact value. Now it's finding it in a different way. There's several different ways for you to find these controls, and that's what I'm trying to teach you here. I'm debugging. And let's see if it works. Okay, we are ready. We're going to hit start. We're going to run. Everything should click up to the first page. It's going to fill everything out for us. Enter. And there's our bonus question. We've gone to the second page. Everything's good as of now. Okay, so we want to pick one of these options. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the fourth one. But how do we do that? We're going to right click on both A and B, which is one of the four options. Right click, inspect, Google Chrome. And what you get, hit it again because sometimes you have to do it twice. Inspect. You're going to get four options. It's a radio button. Radio buttons are the ones with a circle. and you're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? You have a name, you have a type, you have an input, type, name, and value. So let's use the name and the value of 4 as our guess, okay? So back in the code. Back in the code, we're going to put our guess, and I already did this. I'm going to put a variable guess. I'm going to find it by element XPath. The input, it's an input as we showed you. The value was 4. The name was choice. That makes it very unique, okay? And then we're going to click it. That's going to select the buttons. Let's go ahead and go to this point. Run it. Let's run it. Keep testing everything, you know, just keep testing. All right, it's going to fill everything out. And guess what? It selected both A and B, the fourth one. Then last thing we need to do is click that button and then we're done, okay? And I bet you it's the same exact button. I bet you it's the same button. Submit. It's submit again. And let's see, it's got the same name. Let's see if we can just use the same button code over again and we will be completely done. By the way, if you want this code, ask me for it and I will post it for you. All right, let's take that same submit button and click it again. I bet you it'd work. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to run the entire thing, and hopefully if it works, it will work forever. And then, let me clean up here. And then we will put in our real values and run it and test it and see if it works. And then after that, we can automate it and it'll just do it every day for us. All right, let's give it yet another KF4R, okay? Let's run it all the way back to the submit. Watch this. Oh, it said the call sign was already used. Okay, so here's another problem. It might go too fast. No, it failed because I got an error. So let's do K9 KDR, okay, because it caught the fact that I'd already done it. Let's run it again. All right. Now look, it's done everything up to the point that I wanted it to. And now we're going to hit click and see if it submits, and then we know it works for sure. I'm going to run it. Keep a breakpoint, run. All right, it did not work. The second submit button is wrong. So we have to keep working through our problems. How do we know? We're going to need to get another reference, I think. That's why, because it doesn't say enter now anymore. Of course it doesn't. We're going to use the same object, and we're going to find it differently this time. Yeah, I'm sorry this video is so long, but this is what it takes to get through this. All right, so the button, it's not submitting a second time. Why is that? It doesn't say enter now. Value is submit. Name is submit. Value and name. Why don't we use what we did last time and change it. So the value is, and the name is submit, but one of them was uppercase. The value is capital, and then the name is not. The value is submit. Submit. Now I'm going to change this. I'm probably going to get kicked out of the contest for doing this, but I don't care. I was never going to win anyway. All right, so it's doing everything for me, and it's loaded it all up. It's clicking the button. Now we're at the moment of truth. Please work. We click. We know we've done it. Guess what? I even got the right answer. Oh my God. I even got the right answer. Probably I'm going to get the right answer probably 25% of the time, right? Okay, so I just showed you exactly how to do this, and now it'll work. Okay, it'll work once you get. That's what's so cool about programming. Once you get it to work once, it'll work over and over and over. All right, guys, hit it. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you for sticking with me. I used a program called Camtasia to record this program because it's very stable. I tried to use other programs and they sucked. I lost so much video. I freaking got so mad. So I bought Camtasia. It's really expensive, but if you do a lot of tutorials like this online, it's super awesome. It does the green screen really well too. Anyway, thank you. Bye.